N. Onser. 44-year-old Donna Carver is suing her neighbor, 58-year-old Patricia Hollis, for the total loss of her vehicle after a large branch from Patricia's oak tree fell and crushed Donna's parked car in front of her own home. Patricia claims the damage was caused by a sudden storm, an act of God, and insists she bears no legal responsibility. Donna disagrees, loudly. Hamgrens. The courtroom settles. From the left entrance walks Donna Carver. Mid-40s, practical clothing, a manila folder held tightly under one arm. She moves with the contained energy of someone who has been waiting a long time for this moment. From the right enters Patricia Hollis. Late 50s, neatly dressed, silver hair, the posture of a woman who believes she is reasonable and cannot understand why she is here. She carries a single sheet of paper and a weather printout. Behind her, slightly hesitant, walks no one. She came alone. Judge Judy enters from the chamber. The room rises. She settles quickly, opens the file, scans it once, and looks up with the focused impatience of someone who has heard every excuse and is already skeptical of this one. Judge Judy. Ms. Carver, let's start with the basics. You and Ms. Hollis are neighbors. Donna. Yes, Your Honor. We live directly across the street from each other. Have for 11 years. Judge Judy. And this oak tree, it's been on her property the entire time? Donna. The entire time. It sits on her front lawn near the curb. The branches extend out over the street and over my side of the road. It's a massive tree. You can see it from halfway down the block. Judge Judy. What date did the branch fall? Donna. September 19th, a Tuesday. I came outside at 7:15 in the morning to go to work, and my car was crushed. The entire roof caved in. Windshield shattered, hood bent. The responding officer said the branch was approximately 14 inches in diameter. Judge Judy. What kind of car? Donna. A 2018 Nissan Altima. Fully paid off, no loan on it. Judge Judy. Value, Donna. The insurance adjuster valued it at $14,200 before the damage. The repair estimate came in at $11,800. Because the structural integrity of the roof was compromised, the insurance company declared it a total loss and paid me out $9,400. Less than the car's value due to depreciation. I also paid a $500 deductible out of pocket before receiving anything. My net recovery was $8,900 against a $14,200 car. I'm suing for $4,800. The gap between what I had and what I walked away with. Judge Judy. Before we go further, your insurance paid out. Why are you personally pursuing Ms. Hollis instead of letting your insurance company go after her? Donna, Your Honor, my insurance company did pursue her homeowner's insurance for the portion they paid out. That subrogation claim was settled separately. But the gap between their depreciated payout and my actual loss, my deductible, the depreciation shortfall, that portion belongs to me personally. The insurance company recovered what they paid. I am here for what I lost that they never covered. Judge Judy. So the insurance companies have handled their business between themselves, and you're here for your personal out-of-pocket loss. Donna. Exactly. Your Honor, Judge Judy. And Ms. Hollis? Was your homeowner's insurance involved? Patricia. Yes. They handled the claim from her insurance company, but they denied responsibility for her personal gap, same as I am. Judge Judy. Because they're also using the act of God defense. Patricia. Yes, Your Honor. Because that's what it was. Judge Judy. We'll get to that. Ms. Hollis. Your tree, your branch, her car. Let's talk about the condition of that tree before September 19th. When was the last time you had it professionally inspected? Patricia. I did have someone look at it, Your Honor, about 2 years before the incident. I had a handyman come to do some work on my gutters, and I asked him to take a look at the tree while he was up there. Judge Judy. A handyman. Patricia. He'd been doing work for me for years. I trusted his judgment. He walked around the tree, looked it over, and told me it seemed solid. He said it was a healthy old oak. Judge Judy, did he put that in writing? Patricia, no, it was a casual conversation. Judge Judy, was he a certified arborist? Patricia, not officially, but he's worked outside his whole life. He knows trees. Judge Judy, pause. Miss Hollis, I want to acknowledge something. You didn't completely ignore the tree. You asked someone to look at it. I understand that. But a handyman who glances at a tree while cleaning gutters is not a substitute for a professional arborist. Especially when, as we're about to hear, your neighbor was raising specific concerns about a specific branch during that same period. Patricia straightens slightly. It's the first moment the courtroom has offered her anything. And it lasts exactly as long as it takes Judge Judy to turn to Donna Carver. Judy, Miss Carver, had you ever said anything to Ms. Hollis about that tree before this happened? Donna, yes, Your Honor. More than once. Judge Judy, tell me, Donna. The first time was about 3 years before the accident. I noticed that one of the larger limbs on the side facing my house had started to look different. The bark was peeling in patches. There was gray discoloration on the underside of the branch. I knocked on Patricia's door and told her. I said, I think you might want to have someone look at that branch. It doesn't look healthy. Judge Judy. And what did she say? Donna. She said, it's my tree and it's fine. Mind your own business. A wave of murmuring moves through the gallery like wind through tall grass. Audience murmurs. Judge Judy, she told you to mind your own business. Did you approach her again? Donna? About 18 months later, yes. The same branch had gotten worse. Dead leaves on sections of it in spring, when everything else on the tree was green. I could see from my driveway that the wood looked darker and drier. I knocked on her door again. This time, I had the card of a local tree service with me. I offered to give her their number. Judge Judy. And? Donna. She told me she wasn't interested, that her tree was not my concern, and she closed the door. Judy. Miss Hollis, she came to your door twice. The second time with a professional referral in her hand. Your handyman had looked at the tree generally, but your neighbor was describing a specific branch, the same branch that eventually fell. Did you go back to your handyman after her second visit and ask him to look at that particular limb? Patricia, no. I thought she was being overly cautious. The handyman had said it was fine generally, and I relied on that. Judge Judy, you relied on a general assessment to dismiss a specific warning. Patricia, I understand how that sounds now. Judge Judy, I'd like to know how it sounded then. Ms. Carver, do you have anything in writing? Donna? Yes, Your Honor. After the second conversation, when she closed the door, I went home and sent her a written letter by mail. I have a copy and a certificate of mailing from the post office. Judge Judy. Bird! Narrator. Bird crosses the floor with practiced efficiency, collects the documents from Donna's hand, and delivers them to the bench without a word. He returns to his post. Bird. Here you are. Your Honor. Judge Judy reviews the letter. The courtroom waits. Long pause. Judge Judy. This letter is dated March 3rd, 2023. You write that you are expressing concern about the condition of a specific branch on the oak tree at her address. That you have noticed signs of what you believe may be decay or disease. That you are requesting she have the tree professionally evaluated, and that you are noting this in writing because you have raised the concern verbally on 2 prior occasions. Looking up, you wrote her a letter. Donna, I wanted a record, something in writing so that if anything ever happened, there was proof I had tried. Judge Judy, that was very smart of you. Ms. Hollis, did you receive this letter? Patricia, I received something. I don't recall reading it carefully. Judge Judy, this is not a catalog, Ms. Hollis. This is a letter from your neighbor warning you that your tree may be dangerous. Did you respond to it? Patricia. No. Judge Judy. Did you take any action after receiving it? Patricia. No. Long pause, Judge Judy. You received a written warning, certified, documented, dated, about this specific branch. The same branch that subsequently fell and destroyed your neighbor's car. And you did nothing. Not a phone call. Not a follow-up with your handyman. Nothing. The courtroom is very still. Even Patricia doesn't attempt a response. Judge Judy. Miss Carver, after this happened, after the branch fell and you saw your car, did you have to arrange alternate transportation while you searched for a replacement? Donna. Yes, Your Honor. I rented a car for 3 weeks. $100 out of pocket. My rental coverage had a daily cap that didn't cover the full cost. I'm not including that in my claim because I wanted to stay within limits and keep things straightforward. Judge Judy. You're leaving money on the table to be reasonable. Donna. I just want what's fair. The car loss also affected me practically in ways I can't put a dollar on. I work early shifts. I had to coordinate rides for 3 weeks, rearrange my schedule, ask favors from people. A paid-off car is not just money, it's independence. It's how I get to work. Replacing it cost me time and stress I hadn't budgeted for. Judge Judy. She bought that car herself, paid it off herself, parked it in front of her own house, which is where people park their cars, and your branch fell on it. And when you came outside and saw what had happened, what did you say to her? Patricia. I said it was very unfortunate. Judge Judy. Not sorry. Very unfortunate. And then? Donna. She said I should have moved my car when I saw the forecast the night before. Judge Judy. You told the woman whose car your tree just destroyed that she should have moved it. Ms. Hollis, before you came outside, before you said a word to your neighbor, you called your son and he told you not to admit anything. Is that right? Patricia. He called me. Yes. He said to be careful about what I said. Judge Judy. Innocent people don't call their sons for legal advice before crossing the street. They cross the street. The fact that your first instinct was liability management rather than human decency tells me that somewhere, even then, you understood this was your responsibility. Long pause. Patricia says nothing. Her hands rest flat on the podium. Whatever partial defense she arrived with this morning has been steadily, methodically dismantled. Not by emotion, but by documentation. Judge Judy. Let's talk about what happened to that tree after the incident. Ms. Carver, do you know? Donna. Yes, Your Honor. About 2 weeks after the accident, the city came out and inspected the tree following a complaint filed by another neighbor. They red-tagged it. A certified arborist from the city determined that the tree had significant internal decay in multiple branches, not just the one that fell. The city required Patricia to have 4 additional branches removed professionally within 30 days. Judge Judy. The city inspected your tree after the fact and found decay in multiple branches. Patricia. Yes. I didn't know the decay had spread that far. I genuinely didn't. Judge Judy. I believe you didn't know. That's the point. You didn't know because you never had anyone qualified find out. Your handyman's general impression was not a substitute for professional evaluation. And 3 warnings from your neighbor were not enough to make you pick up the phone. The cost of that inspection, $100 to $500. The cost of ignoring it, your neighbor's car, this lawsuit, and 4 branches removed under city order. Does that arithmetic register? Patricia. Yes. Judge Judy. Good. Now, I want the photographs. Bird collects 2 sets of photographs from Donna, her own, taken the morning of the incident, and the insurance adjuster's documentation. He delivers them to the bench. Judge Judy examines each one carefully, one at a time. The courtroom waits. The only sound is the quiet turn of each photo. Long pause, Judge Judy. This branch is enormous. The cross-section where it's separated from the tree. Look at the interior of the wood. It is dark, discolored. The center of this branch shows significant decay. This is not a healthy branch that snapped under wind pressure. This is a compromised branch that finally gave way. The wind may have been the final circumstance, but this branch was failing long before September 19th. She sets the photographs down and looks directly at Patricia Bird. "Show these to Miss Hollis, please." Bird carries the photographs to Patricia's podium and sets them down without ceremony. "Judge Judy, look at the cross-section where the branch separated from the tree. Tell me what you see." Patricia, a long moment, then quietly, "It looks darker than I expected." Judge Judy, "That darkness is decay. That is what your neighbor saw from across the street. That is what she knocked on your door to tell you about. Twice. And wrote you a certified letter about. And you told her it was her concern, not yours." Long pause, Patricia. "I didn't know it had gotten that bad inside." Judge Judy, "You didn't know because you never had anyone qualified look. And I want to say something clearly before I rule, because I've been listening to you this morning, and I don't think you are a malicious person." Ms. Hollis, "I think you are someone who genuinely believed everything was fine, who relied on a handyman's casual opinion, and who dismissed your neighbor's concerns because you found them intrusive. I understand how that happens. But understanding how it happens does not change what it caused. Property ownership carries legal responsibility. When you own a large tree whose branches extend over a public street, you have a duty to maintain it with reasonable care. That duty does not disappear when the weather turns. If anything, known decay and a windstorm is precisely the combination that proper maintenance exists to prevent. You had notice, documented, written, certified notice, and you did not act on it. Pause. The courtroom is completely quiet now, not the restless silence of waiting, the weighted silence of something finished. Judge Judy, is there anything you want to say before I give my ruling? Patricia, I'm sorry about your car, Donna. I really am, Donna. Thank you. Long pause. Judge Judy, let me address the legal standard so the record is clear. The act of God defense is a legitimate legal doctrine. It applies when damage is caused by an unforeseeable natural event that no reasonable amount of care could have prevented. The operative word is unforeseeable. When a homeowner has received documented warnings about a specific branch, verbally, twice, and in a certified written letter, the subsequent failure of that branch is not unforeseeable. It is the foreseeable consequence of ignoring documented notice. The act of God defense does not apply when the defendant had prior notice of the hazard. In this case, that notice could not have been more clearly established. The plaintiff is claiming $4,800. Her documented losses are $5,300 and arguably more. She is asking for less than she is owed. I am awarding what she asked for. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,800. Ms. Hollis, the city has already made you address 4 branches. Have the rest of that tree professionally evaluated before the next storm season, because the next branch that falls may not land on a car, and the next courtroom you find yourself in may not be this one. We're done. Gavel strikes. Clean, final, absolute. Applause from the gallery. Immediate, sustained, relieved. Donna exhales slowly. She does not celebrate. She gathers her documents with quiet hands, the letter, the receipts, the photographs, and places them back into her folder with the careful precision of someone who never expected to need them and made sure she had them anyway. Patricia stands at her podium for a long moment, looking at the photographs still in front of her. Then she picks them up. Slowly, as if seeing the branch for the first time, she looks across the room at Donna. Patricia, Donna, that tree service card. Do you still have their number? Donna looks at her. A beat passes between 11 years of neighborly distance. Donna, I'll leave it in your mailbox. Long pause, an answer epilogue. 3 weeks after the judgment, Patricia hired a certified arborist who found decay in 2 additional branches and recommended the full removal of the oak tree. The tree was taken down the following month. Donna used the $4,800 judgment, combined with her insurance payout, to purchase a 2020 Honda Accord. 1 year newer and better equipped than the car she lost. As of the taping of this episode, Donna and Patricia still live across the street from each other. They wave